So I'm here with Howard Shapiro. Howard is the Chief Agricultural Officer for Mars Inc. And you've written 3 books. 2 of them are on chocolate. And you've had a very interesting trajectory in your life. At one point you had started up an organic seed company named Seeds for Change. And that ended up after several years being sold to Mars, and you now work at Mars. And I'm wondering, Howard, what you can tell us about how you see your own personal experience. What does that tell us about how we can bring corporations into the fight to preserve the environment, to bring about reforestation, and to preserve natural landscapes?
So I feel like I'm very fortunate to have landed at Mars Incorporated. We're a privately held company, a family-owned company, and we operate it with a series of principles. A few months ago, we launched Sustainable in a Generation. What that really means is that we've taken a long look at what it takes to be a company of the future, not of the past. Not only about the agility in the marketplace, but it's about a change of theory about how we operate. What does it mean to be a sustainable company in 2020 and 2050? We're over 100 years old already. Seeds of Change was a great platform to begin with, protecting biodiversity and giving people choices about thinking about the food they grew. It was a simple transition to Mars. I am now the Chief Agricultural Officer responsible for the raw materials. We're an agricultural company. I've had freedom to operate. Being a profitable company, it gives you that, but it's the quality that we have to understand. It's the efficiency of being a large company. It's the mutuality between our relationships. It's the responsibility we have to the supply chain, to the smallholder, to the environment. And then this notion of freedom to operate comes from making money, which is not a bad thing. It allows us to do stuff completely outside the box, like sequence the Theobroma cacao genome and give it away to the public domain. To start the African Orphan Crops Consortium with an uncommon collaboration of partners, work on 101 food crops to make them more nutritious and more productive to try to end chronic hunger and malnutrition in Africa. You don't really hear about this on a normal basis, but what it means is within this cacophony of activity that a corporation that is approaching $40 billion a year in sales has the ability to act in a way that other people don't. It also means that we can think through on a long term. But long term for many people is 5 years. But really long term for us is really the 20 to 50 year range. Will we be sustainable and alive for the next couple of generations of the Mars family? So I'm empowered to make decisions that solve problems that we have immediately, make discoveries, translate them, and scale them, but also to think through with other cohorts, other associates at Mars, what it takes to get this done. And then I wouldn't call it total consensus, still the CEO and the family make decisions, but it's transparent in how we think.
Right. And what do you hope to achieve, or why are you here at the Investment Case Symposium? What is your goal here today?
Well, on the panel that I just participated in, it was to bring a conversation about how do we think about standard certification. So I've been working with a series of partners on an agriculture performance system, which has productivity and resilience, has profitability, has environmental stewardship, good management, and social inclusion as the 5 criteria versus pages of criteria. This is something that everyone can get their hands around. Everyone can understand this. We can define subsets, and maybe your area needs 2 or 3 things more than mine. But we're really talking about a very, very fundamental change in how we view systems biology, systems decision making, and change of theory.
Well, thank you. That's been really interesting to hear about that, Howard. I really appreciate you taking the time to chat with us. Thanks very much for
Thank you
that.
very much.